we're very excited at 5 Exotic Vets because one of the things we were worried about is people being able to care for their pets at home. And you always get people asking, what do I want in a first aid kit? What should I have? And then when you start looking online at getting these things you need to make up a kit, because you're having to buy large quantities, it actually ends up quite expensive. So we've done the legwork for you, as it were. So we're very pleased to have a special plastic box and a little label on it, which is, I designed this, I'm very excited by this. So we have these, and I guess what we've done is we've split our first aid kits into 3. So first up really is the kit that you need that you'll use long term for your first aid kit. So first up we have a hot and a cool pad. So this can go into boiling water, you can put it into the freezer. So this obviously is for wounds, areas of inflammation, things like that, which is something to have close to hand. Very useful for arthritis too. Second on the list, and we've mentioned this with transporting, is the smoke safe. So we've got these with a cover, so you can microwave these, and then they're ready to transport a pet in colder weather. And then we've added in a pill crusher. So depending on what medication we would be advising on using for an exotic pet, you may have tablets that you have to crush and give in water. So these are nice little devices you can use to get medication into your pet. And then we've added a couple of surgical instruments into that. So you've got a nice pair of forceps, so that if you need to grab a hair or a feather or something like that. And you've also got a nice pair of scissors, again, for trimming matted hair or for using for when we come to looking at bandages and things as well. And because we have such a variety of exotic pets, we've had to try and think of how we can modify these kits for each individual animal. So if we've got a mammal, and you've got to syringe feed, for example, then you've got syringes specifically for syringe feed, maybe the coarser sort of fibre-based material you would use. For snakes, what we've got is a long tube, because obviously their stomach is a long way down, for feeding them, and we've got a syringe that adapts to it again. Larger volume, actually, again, snakes feed intermittently, so with a lot of snakes you're giving a larger volume more infrequently than you would for supportive feeding other species. And then we're looking at birds and reptiles. We've got a range of feeding tubes, so this is basically macaw or even monitor-sized tube. And then we have about 12 different designs of those, some straight, some curved, right the way down to teeny tiny, so for small geckos, finches, that sort of type of thing. Some of these you may require a little bit of assistance in how you use them, but obviously we're going to have our videos that you can access for that. So this was our kit basically to get you started, if you like, for the equipment you'll need. And then now we've got to fill it with stuff you'll need for them. And again, we've been quite comprehensive on how we've done that. So we're going to start off with a basically quite simple things really. Syringes, okay? This is syringes for medication, syringes for giving fluid by mouth, syringes also to attach to the smaller tubes here for syringe feeding. And we've gone quite comprehensive with those. What we have done, and you'll see on these 1 ml syringes, is have a little black line that goes to the end of these. So these are minimum dead space syringes. So you're not going to get material in the hub. So your dosing with these can be far more accurate than you get with a normal 1 ml syringe. And obviously then we go up in size, 2 ml syringes, 5 ml syringes, and we've gone up to 10 ml in size. Now, one of the things that you may have issues with, which again we see quite commonly, is a lot of people like to load their syringes ready to treat the animal in one go, which makes sense. Or it may be you're going away for the weekend or going away for the night and somebody else is looking after your pet. So pre-loading the syringes with the right doses of medication is something quite important to do. But once you've done that, it's very easy to accidentally squeeze or squirt the syringe and you lose the content. We've thought of that too. So these are little stopper caps. And basically you can load your syringe with the medication, put on the stopper cap, and then you're not going to accidentally squeeze that content out. So you can leave these out, label them, mark them, ready for the person who's pet sitting for you, for example. So you have these in your kit too. Other things that we've got, obviously being clean when you're treating your animal is important. So we have got alcohol wipes for you, if you need those. Our hand gel. Basically what we're doing is we're using large containers, breaking them down into a small size for you so you've got enough for what you need, but obviously it's far more economical doing that than going out and buying a small size of hand gel. We have done the same with chlorhexidine, so this basically is a wound disinfectant, and we've got a label on there with the instructions on how to dilute it and use it for wound flushing and cleaning, for example. And then after you flush through with that, we've also got you some eye wash pods. This is not necessarily to wash eyes. What these give you is just enough sterile saline that you can open a pod and flush a wound on a small animal. So you're not going to be buying 5 litres or 500 mils, but these eye wash pods are great for washing just that little wound you've got, a little cut on a rabbit, for example. These are just about the right size that you need, so you've got a set of those in there as well. And then when it comes to dealing with these wounds, we have gauze swabs, so you can clean and dry the wound as well. You've got a full pack of those in there for you. And if you've got little bits and pieces that you need to dig out, again, a favourite thing for vets is wound-handled cotton buds. So again, you've got a bunch of those in the kit as well, so you can basically clean out areas of wounds. If you do have things occurring, like prolapses in some species, cotton buds can be useful. What we have also done for that is you've got some lubricating jelly. Again, small sachets, so you don't need to open a big thing, but again, if you've got something you need to keep lubricated, you can. So we have a little dressing for a small wound. We then have orthopaedic padding that you can use to soften that wound. We have conforming bandage, so you can bandage over the top of that. And then to finish with, we've then got 5 centimetre or 2.5 centimetre bandage to wrap over the surface. And if you need little bits of tape to cover the wound, we've got microporous tape, 2.5 centimetres, 1.25 centimetres, should you need them. Then we come on to things to help you with syringe feeding. This is another favourite of ours, glue sprays. We've chosen pink just because they're pink. But these are really great for just gently opening the corners of the mouths of a little gecko, for example, something like that. So you've got those in there as well. If you've got something that's larger, one of the options we've got that we use are tongue depressors, which you can use flat in the mouth. Also used for splinting if you need to. For these, what we do is we actually use the small bandage so we can cover the end of this. So if they bite on it, they're biting on a softer bandage so they don't damage their teeth. 2 final things. First, we can send you home a first aid kit without a poo pot. We're vets, let's be honest, we love a bit of poo. So, or urine, we get urine here too. But if you need, and you're at home, you need to collect a sample, let's suggest you're doing parasite testing or something, you have a pot. And then finally, for this part of the kit, gloves. And you can choose from a drop down what size you want based on how big your hands are, but then you don't have to handle the poo. What we've also done now is we have a sort of third part of the kits that we've got where we're looking at a few extras for you that we think you're going to need. One of them, again, very useful to have, is going to be a corset pencil. These are used to stop pinpoint focal bleeding. You don't want to poke in your eye, but they're coming in a packet with instructions as well. Next, we've gone for eye gel. So you've got a conjunctivitis, a sore eye, or a scratch or a damaged eye, and your eye is getting sore. You can use this just to soothe the eye before you get a chance to pop into the vets. So one of the things we've included in here is the F10SC. Now this is the routine disinfectant that we use around the clinic. It's safe, doesn't upset your respiratory tract if you inhale it, for example, or anything like that at all. One of the best ones out there. But those of you that use the F10, you know that you're buying a good product, so it costs money to do that. What we've done, we of course can get it in a larger volume. Okay, so by getting the 5 litres, instead of buying the small packets, we can then break it all down for you in a little bottle. The instructions and dilution rates are all on there again, but this saves you a large amount of money versus buying a small volume, and certainly 5 litres of F10 is not on a budget. And we've done the same with everything else as well. So we've got, for example, hand gel, doing the same with that. We're doing the same with the chlorhexidine, and obviously the last little bottle where we're doing that is the iodine, and these are all being broken down from bigger containers. Again, you've got instructions, dilutions all on there as well. So this is another wound cleanser that you can use as well, particularly useful around eyes or mucous membranes where you wouldn't want to use the chlorhexidine. And then lastly, we've got this little bit of the kit. We've got some super cream, just as a barrier cream if you've got urine scalding or soiling to protect the skin underneath. Again, small tub for you for that. And then finally on this part of the kit, if you want to Again, we're aware that we've got different animals coming through. This is where we put in the supportive care nutrition for carnivores, which we've got the Emerade. For omnivores, so this would be for suitable for really all your birds, things like that as well, from there. And of course, another favourite of ours is the critical care herbivore from Oxbow. So on the drop-down boxes, you can choose depending whether you have a carnivore, omnivore, or herbivore, and you can bespoke your kit especially for your animals. So that's the first aid kit. When you've done that, like I say, it's all in the box. These are all on our online shop, so you'll access that there. And they're split into three. You've got the first part of the kit, which is the equipment you need. Drop-down box there again, depending on what feeding method you want to use. Second one we've got on our online shop is the consumables, the bog standard things you're going to be using again and again and again. Almost like a refill kit, if you like. Drop-down box for those, online on the shop there, based on your hand size. And then what we've sort of labelled as the deluxe consumables, where you've got all your rearing foods and your supplemental nutrition. Again, there's a drop-down box there, picking carnivore, omnivore, or herbivore. So you can make your kit exactly what you want for your hand size, for your type of animal, and the animal's nutrition that you've got to make a complete kit at home. And like I say, nice little thing you can sit away, and you've got everything there that you need to help support your pet in an emergency, or support your pet over the weekend. Or post-surgery, for example, if it's had surgery or a procedure at the vet, you've got the supportive nutrition, you can help make sure its eyes are lubricated, clean the wounds as you need. And obviously you've got all the things for medicating as well in there. So really quite a nice, we're really quite pleased with how we've worked together to get this ready for you. We've made it economical, as economical as we can for people to have this kit available.